All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. This is Brandon tuning to you guys with another Lunch and Learn. I'm filling in for Anthony today. I'm taking control of this one. This one's all about cannabinoids and how they may increase your clarity, some drive, focus, energy. And as you know, over the last few months, we've been focusing on stress relief, anxiety relief. Well, now, change of seasons, summertime's coming. It's really about kind of gaining some energy, maintaining that energy, stimulating your mind, staying focused, and kind of just, working along with this season and making stuff happen. This season usually demands a lot from us. The hours, the sunlight's out longer. People are out. Usually, people are doing more. Life gets quite busier. It's a lot less slow than this wintertime. So we often need, we need support, as much support as we can. So that's exactly what I'm here to do today, is to try to give you some general education in regards to how cannabinoids can support you on this journey. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. First one I'm going to talk about is the one we've heard and we speak about so much here, which is CBD. In general, cannabidiol is probably, I would like to say, probably one of the key components in regards to stress relief and the anxiety relief that comes from daily life stressors. So CBD, even though this is not about anxiety and stress relief in general, CBD, because it can mitigate and help control a lot of that, guess what? The less thoughts you have running in your head, the less anxious you are, essentially the less possible pain you're feeling, things like that. Less inflammation in your body, then that means the more output you're able to do, more output you're able to have. So in general, when taking CBD, let's say it's a sublingual tincture, for example, doing that possibly, let's say that you have a routine of doing it a half a dropper in the morning, half a dropper at night, throughout the day. Obviously, because that helps balance a lot of your homeostasis, your joint pain may be decreased, your anxiety, your racing thoughts may be diminished quite a bit. In general, any sort of inflammatory-based disease, which honestly almost everything comes from, a lot of those again are very, very, very squashed because of CBD, and because of that, you're able to actually, live a more fulfilled day, if you will. I know I personally take it for back pain and anxiety relief, so because of that, I'm able to speak more clear, I'm able to do more stuff, I'm able to stay focused longer. I definitely use it in regards to actually I just use focus, but staying geared towards the type of work output I have to have, how I have to perform. CBD is a huge, it's a huge tool in my tool belt. And again, it helps mitigate a lot of the chatter that my brain has. That's just the type of person I am. It really does calm me down, and it just makes me feel a lot more relaxed. So because of that, I feel as though I can do a lot more. So in the summertime, especially, I feel like, let's take a strong look at things like CBD. For again, it just has a huge impact on how it helps balance the body's endocannabinoid system in general and all systems. So just, we'll continue to talk more about that as the month goes on, but I just want to give a brief overview. CBD in general helps mitigate a lot of stuff that we deal with, so keep that in mind. That is I wanted to lead with that because that's a huge tool in this tool belt. Next thing I have Sativas. Of course, you guys know these things are pretty much known for the energy that they give, the drive that they can give. However, just like many things, it could be a double-edged sword. Depending on how these are used, depending on who you are and how you use them, they may act different for you. They may cause racing thoughts. They may cause a little bit more anxiety, which actually can inhibit you from actually performing and staying focused. So I put that on there because they still have a huge driver in that. So this is where I would talk about possibly understanding what product you're using. For example, if you're using a sativa flower, maybe a very small amount or a low THC one would be optimum. Low dosage for that, because again, it can help really drive home a lot more clarity and focus. However, again, too much, that's where the dosing really comes in, and you have to understand how your body works, how your mind works with this. Too much can cause the exact opposite. As I stated just a few minutes ago, it can cause the racing thoughts and actually the over-anxiety. And then again, because of that, you're going to be inhibited from doing what you possibly are looking forward to do that day. So again, bear in mind that these are all tools. However, they're going to essentially, it's really up to you to see how these things actually work with you. So keep that in mind. Sativas, they're touted for the energy, they're touted for kind of their pick-me-up attitude, their uplifting mood that they can provide. And again, they definitely do that. They're definitely geared towards that. But like all medicines, like all things, you be wary of how much you use. The amount that you use is going to directly correlate to how it actually affects you. So in this case with CBTs, what I would do with any possibly new patient or somebody, start low, start slow, You really, you're basically looking for the lowest amount of something to get the relief you need, and from there you really found your sweet spot, and you can adjust as needed. But if you go in, over consuming or overutilizing something, you might miss the mark dramatically, and you're doing a lot more guesswork. And honestly, it's scared away. It has scared away quite a bit of people, just from seeking certain types of things for relief. Again, I'm going to use myself as an example here. Using too much sativa in the past has caused me to have more anxiety, which has feared me away from it. And then I understood later on that it was really about my relationship with it, when I chose to use it, why I was choosing to use it, in what form was I using it, and again, really how much was I actually using. That has a huge role in it. So again, do your due diligence. Keep track. We always recommend you guys keep track as much as you can in regards to what you're actually utilizing and how often you're using it, and just the methodology behind it. And as always, talk to our patient consultants, because they'll of course help guide you. They'll help kind of keep you on track. And we obviously have patient services over on the wellness side, and they're essentially here specifically for that and to help you with dosing protocols and things like that. So keep that in mind, guys. I'm going to keep on rolling. These aren't real quick. I'm gonna skip real quick. Let's come straight to endogenous. So these would be the endogenous cannabinoids that our bodies produce. Again, we went over a little bit of this stuff last week. And again, I think what was so fascinating about that is the fact that we have this system in our body, the endocannabinoid system, that, it's our governing system that, because of it, we're able to actually produce these molecules by themselves. So what's awesome is that, again, we've evolved with this plant. This plant has many lock and key mechanisms that work with our body. At the same time, our body has this amazing ability to pretty much mimic many things in nature. So it does exactly that in regards to things that resemble CBD and THC and things like that. So I know we went over anandamide last week. Things like in general, those types of endogenous cannabinoids can be released from exercise. They can be released through gratefulness, feeling thoughtful, meditation, eating well, thinking well, things like that. Real quickly, if I may. Here's just for a quick little video. You have SBY MMA, Brandon Hudson, who's a huge proponent of our CBD. He is not a medical cannabis user. However, because of his lifestyle, because of how he exercises daily, his body is flooded with natural endocannabinoids throughout the day. He's often in a good mood. He stays very focused. He's clear-minded. And he's testament that exercise, eating well, and thinking positive have a huge direct correlation to, again, how your body's maintaining itself. And actually, again, when you start first working out, you often hear that it actually kind of wears you down. It takes a lot to recover, but as you get used to this stuff, as you really get comfortable and this becomes part of your routine, then essentially your body starts craving it. And actually, for example, our CEO, he works out pretty much every single day, especially in the morning and stuff, or throughout the middle of the day. And he's a testament again of somebody who basically can show that they can work consistently throughout the day and still perform. And he'll straight up tell you a lot of it has to do with his ability to be able to actually go to the gym throughout the day and to get his mind right, his body right, to get his his oxygen going in his body, to get his blood flowing. All that directly relates with not just the anxiety relief that we spoke about last month or the stress relief, but it cuts down the inflammation, which is going to have a huge impact on your mood, just the overall how your body feels, the lightness in which it feels. When we have pain, we feel heavy, sluggish. Our mood is dramatically changed. If you have children, I'm sure this is something you're more than well aware of. But again, if you have the ability to exercise each day, to really concentrate on things that can make you feel better, make your body feel better, that are essentially free, then that's really a huge goal here. As always, guys, check out, we do a yoga series every single month with Jerry. They're streamed live straight to you guys. We were just in her studio last week, so that's cool if you want to check that out. But yoga, as you can see, no equipment needed. You can use a yoga mat if you choose. That's not always needed. As you can see, she's standing beyond it here. It's not always, again, something that requires any equipment, and that's our intent, is to provide you with tools that you could essentially utilize in order to gain the ability to basically have these resources at your disposal for when you're ready to use them. And if we're about to open up to 7 days a week, which is awesome. It's it's going to help out a lot of our patients. But again, our intent over on wellness is to provide you guys with natural tools and just basically different various forms of essentially the same package that we're trying to offer as a whole, which is basically having a more complete you. And at the end of the day, again, when I reference the natural endocannabinoids that our body produces, the endogenous ones, this is a gift that we're given. We have this amazing healing system within the body that wants to has its own checks and balances, that has its own way of kind of mitigating and dictating what should be where, but it's up to us to cater to that system and to basically acknowledge it and to make sure that we're fueling it and providing it with the proper source of energy that it needs. So that's where diet, exercise, thinking right, all that stuff comes in heavy. Check out our last week's Lunch and Learn for exactly that kind of stuff. I went much more into it. Real quickly, if I may, these are not these are not cannabinoid related. However, I have to talk on terpenes in regards to, because we're talking about cannabinoids here, and it's very rare that you're going to find any medication in regards to cannabis goes where you're not going to have some form of terpenes in there. Why? Because this essentially deals with the whole plant synergy that we talk about. These are components of the plant which have a huge impact on how the plant actually affects the overall, or has an overall effect on somebody. So things we want to real quick talk about, there's pinene. Pinene has been known to help with focus dramatically. Again, think of the amount that you're using. Something when you, again, take pinene, for example, something too large in pinene may cause, again, the too much chatter, the lack of focus, but in a small amount or in the right amounts, shouldn't say small, but in the right, proper amount, it can have the ability to, again, maintain clarity, maintain focus, and increase drive. Limonene, that's a huge one, touted for its uplifting in mood. When you're in a better mood, what does that mean? It means you want to perform more, you want to do more. You just essentially, you want to express yourself. So that's a huge thing. Limonene is something to definitely look out for. And myrcene, often used, again, as more of a relaxant, a sedative type of thing, and in the proper amount, this can have wonders on how it controls the chatter in the mind and your ability to actually focus. Again, it's really up to you and how your natural, system works with these things. I know for me, I'm kind of a fast-paced kind of guy. I think quick anyway. I'd have a lot going on regardless. So it's in my best interest to understand whatever cannabis I end up choosing to use that day, that it makes sense with my personality. So in my case, where I'm already doing all this stuff, I'm naturally like that, I often need stuff that will actually sometimes stable or keep that stuff actually mitigated and slow me down. I might have too much stuff in front of me, and I'm able to actually, slow down and actually just do one thing at a time. And again, sometimes we may not feel like doing any of those things, and that's where I would mention, again, something like pinene might cause you to now feel as if though you should do it. You can do it. If you're already in the mood to do stuff and you're energetic and you're feeling good, then I would probably not suggest utilizing more pinene or using pinene, because now you may actually, again, you may increase the chatter, you might increase the overall anxieties your body's feeling, and you might not be getting much done. I'll use myself again as an example for something like that. And again, I think it's just super important to understand the various forms of all the, there's many more cannabinoids than what we briefly touched on. There's more than just yoga and exercise to release your endogenous endocannabinoids. There's obviously many more terpenes and things like that. It's just overall, there's a bunch of different things we can do to increase our drive, focus, and energy. But I want to lay out some very brief ones for you guys today that we're going to expand upon over the next coming weeks and months. This is June. We're off to a great start, June 2nd. We're going to carry the same kind of theme over into July, which again, energy, focus, drive, and kind of just hopefully grilling that into you guys to kind of show you the different components of cannabis and other just again wellness tools that will help kind of give you this and deliver that for you. I hope to bring you guys some cool stuff in regards to nutrition. We haven't done any lunch and learns on nutrition. We're probably going to try to do something like that soon. And we're also going to, definitely touch more on some terpenes. We're also going to touch more on CBD and things like that. And we're going to try to do some really cool stuff in regards to maybe some more just physical activity type of things. And one of my favorite stuff to do is just to think about, again, what it means to feel grateful, be appreciative of stuff. Life is not often easy. It's definitely not easy 365 days out of the year. You're always going to expect some curveball to come. But when you have your body equipped to be able to handle life stressors, then that's exactly what it does when they come your way. You handle them, it's not that they don't affect you. It's just that they affect you with much more grace, and you're able to kind of articulate and understand what it is you're dealing with, and maybe come up with solutions in a much greater fashion. It's possible, there's people, long story short, everybody has a lot going on their plate, I'm sure. I'm sure you've gotten bad news, and I'm sure there's been times in your life where you had so much positivity going on that the quote unquote bad news was looked at in a positive light, and you had a positive outcome because of it. That's all I want to get with there is just mindset is huge in regards to actually your overall drive and focus. So I implore you to please, if you just tuned into this late, check it out, rewatch it if you can, share it with somebody if you like. Check out our other episodes as well. Check out our podcast series, our learning, our virtual classes that we bring you guys. Our campus is about to start opening up over the next few months, so we're gonna try to have you guys come back in here. Hopefully, do some, do a lunch and learn or so in person throughout the month, and really start to engage in this stuff again. But yeah, I'm honestly looking very much forward to, again, how we're actually able to kind of use the Wellness Center as a catalyst to kind of talk about these things. Again, it's been very medically cannabis focused, which makes sense on Peninsula Alternative Health side. However, not everybody can utilize that. Not everybody has access to that 24/7, but we have access to our bodies, our minds, our thoughts, and often, we often have control over the food we consume and things like that. So it's our duty here to educate you guys with these free courses, these free classes and stuff like that. Again, so we're just equipping you with better tools. And my hope is that this stuff actually really drives home, and it has an effect to where a more positive outcome to where you're actually able to make these better choices. And again, that's why we focus monthly on the themes that we're doing here. And so you can definitely, again, expect to see a lot more stuff focused towards, again, just energy and things like that. Guys, as always, this was a awesome lunch and learn. I'm appreciative I get to do this, when I get to. Normally I just produce these and Anthony does them. Sometimes I'm going to be doing them. We're going to hopefully have Donnie and a few other people on as time moves on. But this was a really cool one for me. I'm definitely, this is something that's huge for me. I have to have focus. I have to have energy. And I also am a medical cannabis patient, and I will continue to continue to do so. I also use CBD. So when I'm utilizing these things, I'm making sure that I'm using them in the way that, again, will fit exactly what I'm looking for, which is often to continue my energy, to continue my focus, and to make sure that overall my mood is in the way that it needs to be in order to keep on going. At the end of the day, that's why I think I like talking about the endogenous stuff, because I don't think we need to rely heavily on cannabis to be able to make and patch all the holes. It's really up to us to make these decisions. And again, for us over here at Wellness, to equip you with free tools that you can take advantage of if you so choose. To me, that's like one of the most humbling things. Guys, again, I can keep going. I'm grateful for this. I'm appreciative of it. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, as always, reach out over at peninsulamd.com. Feel free to email us at contact@peninsula.com or peninsulamd.com. And of course, you can give us a phone call throughout the day. Guys, I'm Brandon, tuning in for you all. See you all soon. See you next week. Take care.